right. So, in the previous lesson, we already talked about the importance of having a target audience and especially of understanding it. And right now, we are going to elaborate on this because, like I've said, if you have the best product in the world, but nobody sees it or the right people don't see it, then it doesn't matter, right? If like if you sell cars to, 70-year-old women who don't care about cars and like who like to read, for example, then it's useless. The same way if you sell books to guys who love cars. No sense at all, right? So let's get right into it. So here's what we're going to cover. So first of all, we are going to cover how to identify your target audience on Facebook. Next, we are going to, go through on how to use Facebook Audience Insights to utilize the tool for the best results. Next thing we are going to do is that we are going to go over why and how to create customer personas. Next thing we are going to do is going to be analyzing audience behavior on Facebook and how to take advantage of it in your business. In other words, you're going to spot patterns in how your customers are behaving it, and then you're going to leverage those facts into your business. And again, warning, if you came right here, this is the most important video in the entire course. Please watch the entire video. It's very important. Don't skip, don't fast forward. And pro tip as always, if you want to save yourself time, watch the video in 2x speed. So, how to identify your target audience on Facebook? So first of all, what is the target audience? Your target audience is the group of people most likely to engage with your content, buy your product, or use your service. These people share common traits such as demographics, which is age, gender, location, and language. Interests and hobbies, activities, brands, or lifestyle preferences. Behaviors, buying habits, usage of device, or online activity. Now, why identifying your target audience matters? So, first of all, it saves you money. Like I've said, if your ads are shown to the right people, you prevent wasting your ad spend and you actually utilize your money in the best way possible. Second of all, it boosts engagement. Targeted ads resonate better. They increase clicks and interactions. Next thing, they obviously increase results, right? Ads are more likely to convert. Now, let's go over how to actually identify your target audience. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm just quickly going to go over these steps and I'm going to show it to you on the screen so that you're not lost, right? So, step number one, you need to analyze your current customers if possible, right? So, what you do is that you start by looking at your existing customers if you already have them. Decide what is their age group, where do they live, what do they buy from you. So, for example, a gym owner might notice most clients are young professionals aged 25 to 40 with an interest in fitness and healthy living, right? Step number two, define your ideal customer, right? So it's like your ideal customer basically means who is the person that you would like to sell, to in the most ideal scenario. Okay. So use these criteria to define that, right? So age, gender, location, and income level, interests, hobbies, personal values, and behaviors. Now, obviously, the values meaning in the context of your product and of your service. Pain points, what problems does your product solve for them? Motivations, what makes them take action? So is this convenience, cost savings? Like you need to figure that out, right? So, for example, a vegan cafe might target urban millennials who care about sustainability and plant-based diets, right? You don't want to promote a vegan cafe, to people who eat meat, right? Or vice versa. Very simple, right? So, step number three. Sorry. You need to use data from Facebook tools. If you already have a page that, exists and already has some kind of reputation, right? So you either go to page insights or professional dashboard, and I'm gonna go over this with you, so don't worry about that, like I've said. And you will check the demographics of your current followers, which we covered in the previous section. Look for patterns, right? Look for patterns like age, gender, and location. Like you need to, if you see that majority of people that are engaging with your content are 20 to 25 years old, you know that you are not going to be targeting 40-year-olds, right? Very simple. Like you need to find out what's the majority of the people that are engaging with your content. And I'm 99% sure it's not going to be everyone, right? It's not going to be like from 15 to 100, right? That's impossible. It's most certainly going to be a certain age group, right? Now, the step number four is that you got to research competitor audiences, right? So, what you do, you simply go through their Facebook pages, right? You go through their Instagram pages, right? And you just you spend 1 or 2 or 3 hours just looking at the people that are being that are engaging with your competitors content, and like you're going to make sense out of it, right? Because if you look, let's say if you take a sample of 100 people, if you go through 100 people and you just write down the ages, the interests, if you look at their Facebook profiles and all of them you know, like, football, for example, they like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, or whoever, right? They love to share motivational posts. Yeah, they love to post, about their fitness progress, and like they love nutritional tips. Then you're going to spot patterns, right? Like all of these people are most probably not going to be the same, but they're going to have similar characteristics and traits that connect them all together. And this is what you want to find out, right? You want to spot these patterns and then make sense out of it and create your target audience, right? And to be honest with you, if you're just starting out, identifying the target audience of your competitor is the easiest way to identify your target audience, right? It's the fastest and the most effective way. So, right now we are go from theory to reality, and we are going to go over how to use Facebook audience insights for the best results, right? So first of all, what is Facebook Audience Insights? It's a free tool provided by Facebook to analyze your audience's data. It helps you understand your audience's demographics, interests, and behaviors to create highly targeted campaigns. Now, why to even use it? First of all, it lets you understand your audience. You will learn who they are, what they like, and how they behave online. If you know this, you know what to give them, right? Because if you give them something they don't like, they will not consume it, right? Like if I don't like ice cream and you'll be putting ice cream in front of me all the time, it's not going to work. Same thing is with children, right? If you force them to, eat vegetables, and if you like, I don't know, if you don't, make vegetables like look good, or if you don't put it alongside like some tasty food, they're just not gonna eat it because it's not tasty to them, right? Next thing, refine your ads because targeted ads, are more effective, which lead to better engagement and sales. And also, it will let you discover new opportunities. It will let you find new audience segments you might not have considered. So, here is the step-by-step guide to using audience insights. Okay, so right now we are in the Facebook Business Suite, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go to Insights, which is right here, right? Show later. And if you look at this, you are simply going to go over the audience, right? And like it said, you need at least 100 followers to gather this data. Now, from this, layout or from this business suite, from this insights bar, you're going to get all of your data. And right now, I'm going to show you what to focus on, right? So let's get right now. If you look at this, right? Trends, segments, demographics, this is like your current audience, which is non-existing, right? But if you go here, you have the potential audience. And right here, you can clearly see the estimated size of your audience. And right here, you already have the what could be your target audience based on, based on your business page, right? You can clearly see that it's not going to be men and women 18 to 24. And if you really look at this, right, the majority is slight majority is women, 54%. You can also see the top cities. 3% is from New York, which is, great. So people from New York, Houston, and Los Angeles and Chicago are like our top audience. We already know this, right? Look at this right here. Um, all those people are from United States, which is already like a very, very important thing to know. And right here, you can see what kind of pages and what kind of interests they have, right? 11% of them liked Walmart, right? 9% like Amazon, right? 7.8% like Target. They use Samsung a lot, right? When it comes down to politics, I don't want to be, discussing politics because this is not relevant, but like you can see all of their preferences, right? And if you click here, you can use filters to narrow down your audience, right? So let me just go over this. So based on what we know, right? Let's just say um, United States. We just know that they're from US, right? We also know that majority of our audience is anywhere from 35, from 25 to 54, right? That's the majority of our audience. Now, gender, I would honestly say, all. And right here, we can add interests, right? So let's say digital marketing, right? And again, these are the things you have to, discover by yourself. If you don't have your own audience, do it by researching your competition, right? You just do copywriting, language, obviously, English, all. And right now, you can see, all the details about your audience, which is absolutely amazing. Like you can deduct so many things based on this, right? It's unbelievable. Now, if you filter this out, and like I've said, all the information has to be based on multiple resources. Don't just like do it like quickly, like me right now. This is me just showing you examples. Then, if you filter it out, right, you can then click on create audience and you can name the audience. And then, once you have the audience, then you can use your ads, to target them to this specific audience. This is why it's so amazing, right? So let's just say marketing audience US dash one, right? And you save your audience. And right now, what's happening is you have already saved your audience. And when you want to run an advertising campaign, you can simply, do this and target the ads to this audience, right? Now, the next thing we can do if we go, if we go right here, which is basically go here and we click see all audiences in ads manager. Let me quickly show this to you. Then we can also create a custom audience, right? And what this means is you can literally type in every single piece of information you gathered from multiple resources. And based on this information, Facebook is going to take it, and based on that, it's going to target the ad. So what we did right, like what we did before, what we did right now, was kind of like a beginner stuff, right? But I honestly believe this is like the best way to go about creating, your audiences. And so this is because like the more specific you are, the better, right? Because if you're just, if you're like people are going to buy my fitness, products because I help people gain muscle. You need to realize that almost everybody helps you build muscle, but how you differentiate which specific, target audiences are helping? What are their specific pain points? What have they tried before? Are there any differences that they're looking for? Did they try any solutions before? Like all those relevant data are important when you want to find the best audience for your product. Okay. And so you simply type in or like pick your sources, right? Which could be literally anything, right? It could be customer list that you create, right? You basically upload a list of your customers, which you can upload as a sheet, right? And Facebook has that, right? It can also be based on a website, right? Based on your website, from your Meta Pixel. But like we are going to talk about Pixel, like further. But like this is also great, right? Now you can do it through app activity, catalog, offline activity, like everything. Now you can also base it off meta sources. Now, what this means? Now you can obviously just use only one, like one of the options. Like you cannot use the source of multiple ones, right? But for this case, I'm gonna just create a customer list, and I'm gonna use ChatGPT to help me with creating that list, right? Now, before we can do that, we have to add an ad account to our business, right? Because Facebook pretty much has this, right? So this thing right here will be my ad account, right? We're simply going to click next, add to business, and that's pretty much done. Now it's going to take us here, which is basically the audiences tabs for our ad account, right? If you click right here, you can see our ad accounts, right? We have two ad accounts right now, and we're simply going to create audience like we did before, customer list, and um, I'll right here, I'll upload it, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna click next, we're gonna click upload file. Now the next thing we have over here is the question, does your list include a column for customer value? Now that simply means, now the customer value is very simple, right? So what this means is that like one of the customers can spend $50, once in the entire lifetime, in the span of the entire lifetime on your business, right? And then you can have a second customer who spends $50 10 times in a year regularly, right? And so the second customer is way more valuable to your business, and this is what Facebook asks you, right? Now you definitely should have the customer value if you cannot gather the data, because this is very important, right? Because if you only target people who buy only once from you and then never buy again, that's, you're losing money, right? But if you only target people who are most likely to spend multiple times on your business, then that's a win for you. So you should include that. I obviously didn't include that, right? But it's just for the example purposes. But you should definitely do that. And then we are going to simply name our audience. So let's say target audience, marketing agency, US dash one, right? And then we check the box, click next, right? And then right after that, we are simply going to click import and create, right? Now, after we created our custom audience, we can also After, you already have some kind of engagement, you can then create customer personas, right? It clearly tells you this is about your customers, right? So after you get some sales, right? After you get the audience going, right? After you identify your ideal target audience, which we did right now, then you can go over the customer personas. And what is it? So first of all, a customer persona is a detailed profile of your ideal customer, right? It includes key information such as demographics, age, gender, income, location, interests, behavior, how they interact with the content, how they shop online, or how they use social media. Basically, this is the next step, right? After getting, you basically defined your target audience, you sold few products, and then you want to figure out your customer persona, right? This is going to be the analysis, not of the target audience of your competition, but it's going to be analysis of your current customers. Now, why create customer personas for Facebook? So first of all, it lets you have a personalized marketing, right? You will craft ads that speak directly to your audience's needs and emotions. It will also lead you to improve targeting, so you can use Facebook's detailed targeting options more effectively. Again, cost efficiency, you will save money, and also the content is going to be relevant. You can tailor your posts and campaigns to what your audience actually cares about. Now, let's just go quickly over the step-by-step guide to creating customer personas, right? So first of all, step number one, you need to collect data about your current customers. So because we don't have current customers, we cannot do that. So I'm simply going to tell you that in this presentation, right? So first of all, you need to analyze your existing customers using tools like page Insights. In Facebook Page Insights, check demographics, interests, and engagement metrics. In the purchase history, look at what customers buy most often. In surveys, ask customers about their preferences and needs. We already talked about this. If you can create poll, like Alex Hormozy did, he basically created the title for his book, right? Simply by talking with customers. So, for example, right, small bakery might notice most customers are women aged 25 to 45 who are interested in health conscious desserts. Now, the second step, you need to research your audience using Facebook tools. And we already went through this, right? You just do this for your existing customers. Audience Insights and Ads Manager can reveal important details like interests, pages your audience follows, behaviors, online shopping habits, or device usage. Again, we already went through that. Their demographics, stuff like that, right? Now, the step number three, you need to build your personas, right? So you will use this information to clear a clear persona, right? And then when you have this information, you then again are going to create your custom audience, right? So name, give your persona a relatable name. So, for example, fitness loving, guy or whatever, right? Demographics, female, 28, lives in Los Angeles, earns $50,000 a year. Interests, fitness, plant based eating, yoga. Pain points, struggles to find healthy desserts that taste good. Goals, wants guilt free snacks that fit their lifestyle. And then, test and refine your personas. So you do that simply by running small Facebook ad campaigns targeting your personas. And these personas, right, will be your custom audiences. I've already told you how to create. I'm just trying to go over everything multiple times so that you can understand it. Don't take this that you have to complete all the steps I'm telling you right now in order, right? I'm just giving you an overall, roadmap on how Facebook works and how you should use it, right? Whenever you need it. Because majority of you are in different stages. Some of you are just starting, some of you are just are like already running ad campaigns and need some tips, right? So that's pretty much that. And like I've said, analyze the results to see which persona engages the most. And then, based on that, adjust your personas based on real campaign data. Now, tips for beginners. That's very important. Start with one or two personas and expand as you learn more. Don't create overly generic personas. I've told you, you have to be specific. Targeting everybody means targeting nobody. And use your personas as a guide for creating ads, posts, and campaigns. Now, analyzing audience behavior on Facebook. So, what is the audience behavior on Facebook? Audience behavior refers to how people interact with your page, posts, ads, and other content on Facebook. Key behaviors include this. It includes likes, comments, and shares. So basically, how often your audience engages with posts. Then ad clicks, how many people click on your ads. Time of activity, when your audience is most active on Facebook. Content preferences, the types of content they respond to. Now, here's the step-by-step guide how to actually analyze their behavior. So, first of all, use Facebook page insights, right? Which is basically this tool. So, when we're right here, right, when we're in the insights, we will go, you're in the business suite, we'll go to insights and then scroll all the way down to content. Right here, you will see all the Facebook, like all the behavior insights of your audience, right? So it's reach, likes and reactions, comments, shares, right? So you basically, based on this, you can decide which content performs the best. And then again, based on that, you can utilize the content and you can pretty much just double down on what works and remove what doesn't. This is very simple. It works all the time and it's very effective, right? And your main goals should be to look at the reach, which is how many people this post has reached, how many people liked it, comments, and shares, right? Very simple. I wouldn't overcomplicate it, right? Because there's already so much knowledge and just go through this. All right. And like I've said, you need to also analyze the trends in their behaviors, right? Like, and double down on what works and remove what doesn't, right? Like this is why you use the insights, right? Use it so that you can see what works and what doesn't. Very simple. Now, if you go to the second tab, which is we are in the content, and now we go to overview, you can also see like the detailed stats for each one of the types of posts, right? So posts, stories, reels, videos, and lives. Now, when you post the videos, you will also see what is the time that your audience, like watches your posts or interacts with your posts the most. And this is very important because if your audience interacts with your post at 2 p.m. of whatever time, then you are going to logically, like you are going to have to, adapt your strategy and post at these times because these are the times that your audience is most likely to interact with your content. And like I've said, you got to double down on what works, and you got to remove every single other thing that doesn't get you closer to your goals. All right, guys. So this was one of the juiciest lessons of this entire Facebook marketing course by far, because we have covered one of the most important, if not the most important part of your Facebook marketing strategy, which is obviously understanding and using your target audience as a marketing weapon. We have covered how to actually identify your target audience on Facebook. We covered how to use Facebook Audience Insight, why and how to use customer personas, and last but not least, we have covered how to actually analyze audience behavior on Facebook and how to take advantage of it in your business. So, with that being said, I look forward to a next lesson, which is going to be all about content creation and strategy for your Facebook marketing. And with that said, see you guys soon and I wish you a lot of success.